Hello everyone. In today's session, we'll see how to read data from a text file in Java or in Selenium Automation Framework, or how we can write a data in a text file in Java or in our framework. Okay, so before we start, first we need to understand why we require data to read from a text file or to write a data in a text file. So when we are executing a manual test case, okay, and if data is attached in the text file, we are simply opening manually in Notepad and we are reading the data one by one. Okay, so using Java or in Selenium Automation Framework, so we need to use a Java file reader class, okay, to read the data from a text file. And also, if in case we need to write a data, then we need to use a Java writer class. Okay, so what we'll do, I'm going to open an Eclipse. Okay, so this is my simple Maven project, and here I'm going to create a one test data txt file. Text data, and here simply we'll create a simple text file. And under this one we are simply saying text demo.txt. Okay, and inside this one, if I have a data test data line 1, we simply simple data will skip. It may be username or password or any message. Okay, we are going to store. So and so here I am going to create a one class file. Okay, then I am going to create a one test ng class. Okay, read text data. Okay, okay, so simply what we'll do, so here I have created a one text demo, so we'll take the path. Okay, and here we need to assign the string path is equal to, we'll assign null. Okay, we'll mention public. Okay, okay, and as I mentioned, we need to use the file reader class. And okay, so what we'll do, file reader, file read text data, we'll just assign the values. Okay, yeah, we need to import the file reader. Okay, file reader text data. Okay, yeah, so what I will do, let me do it. Okay, I will also create a, will assign public so that we can use any other functions as well. Okay, and here, okay, we'll simply get message. Okay, and here what I will do, I am going to create an object of file reader class. File reader, file read text data is equal to new file reader and file name. Okay, so here I already assigned, I'm just removing. Okay, and here we need to give the path. Okay, so what I will do, path is equal to system dot get property. We need to give the path of that text demo.txt file. Okay, and here we need need to give the, I just already copied the path. Okay, let me again copy. Just right click, go to properties. Okay, demo. We need to copy from source text demo dot. Okay, so I will simply come here. Okay, okay. So once we create an object of file read text data, okay, so we need to create a buffer reader. Buffer reader read text data is equal to new buffer reader, and we need to pass the file reader object. Okay, and what I will do, I am going to also assign this as a public is equal to null. Okay, and yeah, so what we'll do, buffer reader text data, and we'll read text data dot. Okay, there is a syntax error. Buffer reader dot read line, okay, which returns the string. Okay, so string test data is equal to, okay, so what we'll do, we'll put a one for loop. Okay, so using read line method, we are reading the data line by line. Here we are just verifying whether my line is reached to end of the line using null. If it's written null, okay, then stop the while loop, and here simply we should just out and test data. Okay, and test data is equal to br reader text dot read line. Okay, we'll keep the for loop continue till, and once it's done, okay, we'll simply say br text data dot close. We'll also close the file reader. Okay, so now I'm going to execute this one, run. Okay, okay, so here we can see, so it's executed. Here you can see text data line 1, line 2, line 3. Okay, suppose if I added the other expected message, okay, expected message, what we are expecting in this text file, line 4, or if you update line 2, like expected message, or and assert any assertion, just save it. Okay, let's simply run it. Okay, here you can see my execution is done, and using file reader, okay, everything is, we can read it. Okay, so same way, like what we can do, we can write a data into a text file using file writer class file and buffer writer. So I'm going to copy this method. Okay, and here instead of read text, I'm going to mention write text data. Okay, and write text at direct test, direct test, and write text. Okay, and here instead of file reader, we'll mention the file writer. Okay, and file write. Okay, we are just assigning, and here we need to also import the IO package, and buffer, instead of buffer reader, we'll put buffer writer. Okay, br write. Okay, so now, okay, so here just I'm copying. Okay, I'm going to create other method. Okay, so just I'm zooming, and here globally I'm putting here, so it will be useful. Path 1, I'm going to do the path 1 buffer writer. Okay, so now I'm going to change the test name, write file data. Okay, and here if you see, so for second method, okay, so I use these three variable: path 1, file writer, buffer writer. Okay, so now I'm coming here. Okay, path 1, I'm going to keep the same thing, and file read data. Okay, so I will mention file writer, same path, and file write. Okay, and using buffer writer, okay, we need to give the file write text method, and here buffer write text data. Okay, so we don't require now for loop. Okay, simply we will call these things br write text data dot write. Okay, we'll call this method, and we provide the any added message into text demo. Okay, here we can add the our any expected message, and then after that we will close the file write text data and file write text data. Okay, so now I am going to, here we can see, now I am going to execute the method. Okay, and we'll simply see this added message into the text file. Okay, now it is showing null values. Okay, we need to check it, so that means there is some error is there. Okay, and that means our data is not added here. We'll simply see what's wrong. Okay, path 1. Okay, yeah, here you can see path, we are using wrong path. Okay, so path 1, we need to get this path 1. Now I'm going to execute it. Okay, now my test got passed, and if you open, okay, you can see added message into the text demo. If I added other things like expected message, okay, I'm going to execute it. Okay, pass it, and here you can say expected message, added message. Okay. So this way you can read and write file into the text file. Okay. If in case you have any questions or query, please let me know. Thank you.